You're listening to DraftKings Network.
The holidays are coming. Find a gift for someone special with jewelry from Blue Nile. Right now, Blue Nile is offering special Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. Save up to 50% on the season's most stunning trends. Blue Nile offers an endless selection of bold gold styles, gemstone jewelry, and classic diamond pieces. And now, for a limited time, get 36 months special financing on minimum purchases of $1,000. Restrictions apply. See BlueNile.com for details. That's BlueNile.com.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
If you had access to more than or almost 100 million more people today than you did yesterday, how would you start your show, Stugotz? Because right now we are on max for the first time. What are you looking at, Billy?
I'd ask everyone for $1.
Yep.
If 10% of them, I'd have what? $10 million?
Mm-hmm.
So the moment that you got a big platform, you'd start begging.
Not begging. I'd just say, hey,
GoFundMe, maybe.
You guys, got $1 you want to send me? That'd be cool.
My Venmo is...
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
If you want to find me and send me $1, I'm here to take it.
Tony, GoFundMe is outsourced begging, is it not?
It is, but it's more relatable to people. Be like, oh, GoFundMe is not like, hey, can I have $1?
I don't think that I would not define GoFundMe as begging. I would say that it's a nice place to set up a place for charitable causes for someone who may be down on their luck, who may have had some unfortunate incident, a house fire,
It's
medical
asking.
bills,
Yes.
whatever. And it's not even you asking. It's usually like your friends or family or whatever set something up for you because it's like, hey, you know what? This person got a splinter in their hand and they don't have health insurance and it costs $250,000 to remove a splinter at a hospital. So can you help this person out?
It feels a little like internet panhandling. A little bit.
No, that's what it is. And Ron McGill says that the Eagle is a buzzard with a good PR agent. This is begging with a good PR agent.
GoFundMe gives off, aw.
Well, speaking of that, I wanted to start with mascots, and we'll get to that in a second. But the most shocking thing from the football weekend to me, and there was some good stuff, the most shocking thing is that Chris Cody came in here today, and in the AFC East, where this entire century he and his family have been taking drubbings at the hands of the Patriots.
Yeah.
When Chris Cody goes, "Aw," he felt that way yesterday for Mac Jones.
It was kind of like a GoFundMe. I instantly felt bad, and then I
Right.
thought about it, and I was
Good.
like, wait, why am I feeling bad right now?
Good. You have no reason to feel bad.
When he threw that I know he had a couple picks, but there was one. It was just the worst.
Do you think there was a single Patriot fan during that Brady run that sat there and said, hey, I feel bad for the people down in Miami? Nobody.
Good point. I'm back.
Okay.
I have a couple of good stats for you here, Stugotz. Which one is more stunning when you mention the Patriots? Okay, you have the Saints now with Derek Carr. The way that they're playing, they have two games where they have no touchdowns. 2 games under Derek Carr this year. With Drew Brees, they had 2 of those in 15 years. But that's not even the worst stat in that realm. Because what has happened to the Patriots, they've now become the first team ever in back-to-back weeks to hold their opponents to 10 points or fewer and lose both games. Or the first time in 30 years. Forgive me, it's not ever. But the Pats this year have been held 7 points or fewer 4 times. In the entire Brady era, it happened 5 times.
What?
I feel like we're doing this every week now with the Patriots. There's something they're doing every week that Brady did.
They deserve it, okay?
Ben Volen had the tweet, and we won't put it up here now, but Ben Volen, okay, we will put it up here now. He has the tweet of what Mac Jones's quarterback rating would have been if he had just spiked the ball at every time in the game before getting benched, and what his quarterback rating was in the actual game. And it was lower in the game, Stugotz, because he threw that interception. It was a terrible interception. That ended his career with the Patriots. And he knew it.
That's why it was sad, because you could see it in his face.
They benched him immediately. The camera went straight to him immediately. But if he had spiked the ball every single play, he would have had a better quarterback rating than the one that he had before he got benched.
What is Bill Belichick doing with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi? Because, like, if you believe what you saw in the post-game press conference, he was saying the plan was for both of them to play. So, like, you're going into it knowing at some point I'm going to bail on Mac Jones and go to Bailey Zappi. And he told Mac Jones that both players are going to play, and he told Bailey Zappi that both players are going to play. So you're going into it saying, hey, you're going to start, but we know you're going to mess this up, and we're going to pull you at some point. So at that point, why are you even bothering with him?
I feel like they're tanking for Caleb Williams, and all the noise around Belichick getting fired is just to, like, distract us from that.
That he's going to stay?
He's staying. They're sucking for Caleb Williams.
Right.
But they don't. They're the Patriot way, culture. They're like the heat of like for football. They could never tank. So they're going to act like, oh, he might get fired. He might not make it back from London. They're tanking for Caleb.
But do you have, honestly, a serious question, do you have any faith in Bill Belichick's drafting abilities? Like, do you think that he's going to fix it if he gets Caleb Williams? Because, like, it's come out
That would
lately.
help.
Yeah, but you see what they've done in the draft, and none of the players really amount to anything.
Right, but Billy, if Caleb Williams is great, then yeah, that solves that. Like, even Belichick can get that right if he's picking, number 1, number 2, number 3.
But outside of Brady, Belichick hasn't gotten free agents right. He hasn't gotten drafting right. The only thing he's gotten right is defensively getting good players.
All he got
right
right is putting Brady in.
That's it.
That's what he got right.
All he got right was Bledsoe getting hurt.
Well, that was the thing.
It, right?
Even putting Brady in wasn't really a choice that was made. It was kind of forced on him.
If he finishes bottom 3 in that draft, it's going to be really hard to screw up Caleb, Maserati Marv, or Drake May.
Correct. Yes.
You are doing Maserati Marv after
Marv.
Gus Johnson has gotten crushed right and left for calling him left and right. Maserati Marv.
It's actually a genius move because then you don't have to remind yourself of who his dad is.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yep.
You don't have to say the name, though.
You never have to say his name if you say Maserati Marv.
He should be applauded.
But
for Maserati Marv.
Gus Johnson was criticized a great deal again and again for never speaking the name Harvin Marison because he was afraid to speak it and calling him Maserati Marv the entire time. We'll get to Ohio State and Michigan in a second. It's a shame that both of them couldn't lose. My solace is that one of them had to.
The game.
Yes. Yeah. And Auburn, Alabama was also the game. Totally ridiculous football game that ended in the most.
That's not the game. That's the Iron Bowl. That's a fine, too. Yeah.
No, I'm going to call it the game from this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to call that the game from this weekend because of how
it really was the play.
Fine system is broken.
Are you talking Bills Eagles?
Nope. I'm talking about what Stugotz likes to call the Iron Bowl. That I'm going to call the game because of how it ended. But before we get to all of the football stuff from the weekend, I did want to start with mascots. Have any of you ever ziplined? Have you ever done ziplining?
In Maui, I've done ziplining. Awesome.
Maui ziplining feels safer than some of the Ecuadorian and Costa Rican ziplining that I've done that doesn't seem like they've got proper licensing, and I'm just headed over a forest, and I'm like, this does not seem safe. That I don't believe that they have regular checkups on these wires.
That's part of the fun, though. Right. It's not ziplining if you're not fearing your death.
You have to fear your death.
Yeah.
You're right. Right. Tony, you could have just said yes, right? Didn't have to be Maui.
Well, I've ziplined in Maui. I've ziplined in Connecticut before.
Okay.
Well, why didn't you say
I'm
I
a big
ziplined in
Right.
Connecticut?
Why'd you go Hawaii?
Now
not
I see why you
Connecticut?
highlighted it.
It seems more dangerous.
No, because
Right.
Maui, it was more dangerous. Dan's been to Maui. He knows what the deal is over there. There was a lot of wind gusts that day, so we actually couldn't do like zipline 10 because they said if you come in at a certain angle and the wind's pushing you, you're like 70 miles an hour straight into the trees. So, like we're going to skip this one.
The Oregon Duck decided, as did Ludacris, by the way, at a Falcons game. We'll get to that in a second. But look at the Oregon Duck here. This risk does not seem worth the reward.
That's what I'm saying. This is just, I hate all of this. It gives me anxiety. I don't get anxiety about a lot of things. When I see Ludacris rapping, coming down, and this guy, it's just like, what's the benefit? What's the best case scenario? This is what we're looking at. This is the best.
But the scenario, it's hard for mascots to stand out. It's hard for your neighborhood mascot to be someone who does the thing that goes viral, and you have to go further and further toward the edges. How many people every year die from stupid Instagram accidents trying to do some sort of ridiculousness where they just want to get a video that a lot of people watch?
832.
Give me a dancing mascot any day of the week over this. Like, who's it? The Kansas State guy? He dances with the cheerleader. Give me that over this.
No,
any day
but
of the
this
week.
is not the
Dancing
video.
bear.
These are not the videos that go viral. Now he appears stuck there. He is stuck. He is very high up off the ground where the press box is, and now he is being dropped down slowly by the belly. That's
the big payoff here.
Not much of a payoff. You're right. It's very slow because I'm assuming they had to go safety first.
Right.
And so this isn't happening as fast as it should. He should be repelling. All of this should happen quicker.
For people just listening, we're watching a duck get lowered to the field
Very slowly. Very slowly. But
He should be repelling.
yes, I mean it should be
It
faster
should be
than this.
like a quick fall, and then he stops at the end,
I mean,
right before the
look,
field. Whoa!
Hey, Duck, are you doing it dangerous or you not? Are you giving us the illusion of dangerous, or are you just you're faking it, or are you really doing something dangerous? Because the speed with which he's going down makes it feel like there was some sort of malfunction.
This is longer than Bo Nix's career.
Yeah, this is like zip lining in Connecticut. I mean,
And he's on the field.
It took a long time to go from the press box to the field. It's like a really slow elevator. Like one of those old elevators you don't trust is how long that it took. Is Ludacris any better here at the Falcons game yesterday, Stugotz? Let's check this out here. Are we allowed to play the music?
Falcons in first place.
It's asinine. There are all sorts of weird things in the sport.
That's the weirdest.
I mean, is it?
Desmond Ritter?
Is it the weirdest? Because I got a few for you.
Yeah, we're not allowed to license some music on this one, but Ludacris is doing this a lot quicker than the Oregon Duck and a lot more energetic.
But his looks more flimsy. I'm more worried about it falling than the duck. Ugh.
I'm with you, Chris.
It looks like hang gliding.
Yeah.
It does feel flimsier, doesn't it? But is it because just we're closer?
Maybe.
A fisheye lens makes everything cooler, too.
Yeah.
He's not nervous, though. He must have done this a few times in dress rehearsal.
I still feel like I'd be scared at that height. And
If you're Ludacris, you have to watch someone do that, right? I have to go out to midfield and watch someone heavier than me do the exact thing that. Before I just get on
Just
that,
to make sure?
I need to watch the walkthrough.
What's your
if I'm
strategy
Ludacris.
on that? Someone heavier than you that you feel safe, or someone's heavier than you and you're like, ooh, did they weaken it?
Now they're loosening, yeah. Maybe, all right, maybe Billy's right. The exact same weight as me. The exact dimensions is what I would need.
Hey, it's Mike. Hut, hut, whistles, penalty flags, touchdowns, rah-rah. Love all that stuff about football season, but you know what I love the best about football season? It's camaraderie I get when I toast the beautiful white can that holds the key to making football amazing. I'm talking, of course, about Miller Lite. I make it Miller time every time it's football time, and I'm never left disappointed because it is the perfect beer to pair with our national obsession. From kickoff to the final whistle, you just can't go wrong with a Miller Lite in your hand. It's the only light beer with a taste worthy of football. What's the point of having a beer if it doesn't taste like, well, beer? Thankfully, Miller Lite checks all the flavor boxes, and it's only got 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12-ounce serving. This season, do what I do. Crack open a light beer that hits your taste buds so hard, you feel it in your heart. And you can scream touchdown and hoorah and all that stuff. Make it Miller time all season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Dan Batard.
God doesn't even know what this list is.
But he was ahead of Tom Brady, who also won a playoff game.
A couple, yeah.
That was literally the most confusing list we've ever done. On this show.
Tebow's got a better shot of coming back.
Give him a chance. He's got one lyric.
I'm mad.
I'm
angry.
I want to leave.
Stugotz.
This would have been your day. This should be. You should own the sports media landscape right now.
I am. Top 7 guys. I would not want the Jets.
No. You. No. No. I'm not allowing it.
Give him a
Zach
chance,
Wilson,
guys.
number 1.
No, I'm not giving him a chance. I'm giving him 20 years.
It's
Carson Wentz.
I've given him my prime.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Stugotz, when you say strange things in the sport,
Yeah.
how about the Chargers having the same record as the Giants?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, football is so funny, man. It really is. The Colts are in the playoffs. I mean,
How about the Colts having the same record as the Bills?
Bills are not in the playoffs.
They've got
no way, Dan.
They've got a 15% chance of making the playoffs now. The Bills have a 15% chance of making the playoffs. Excuse me, the Colts don't have the same record. They have the same number of wins. They have one fewer loss.
The Colts are 6-5. The Bills are 6-6.
They have one fewer loss than the Bills.
Right.
Also, the Broncos have as many wins as the Bills.
Hey, congrats, Dolphins. You now have a victory over a winning team.
Not just a victory, my friend.
You put 70 on them.
70.
If you want max Broncos coverage, I suggest you go to God Bless Football today, where Billy and Stugotz are obsessed with the Broncos. What the Bills are doing, listen to what I'm going to tell you, Stugotz, because mathematically this is a puzzle. This is a riddle. Mm-hmm. The Bills have a better point differential than every team in the sport except for Dallas, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. The Bills are 6-6.
And Baltimore, I think.
And Baltimore, excuse me. Wait a minute. I think it's better than Philadelphia. Forgive me. I think Baltimore's the team in there, and Philadelphia is not the team in there. I think I got it wrong.
Baltimore is plus 137. Philadelphia is
Plus 64.
Yeah, plus 64. The Cowboys are plus 182.
The Bills, this is so hard to do. It is so hard to be 6-6 and have that point differential.
I'm not a big point differential guy, but it is incredibly impressive to be 6-6 with a point differential of over 100.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins have a good point differential, but they blew out the Broncos that one game.
Yeah, the Bills, I would have to say, if we're just doing we watch football and let's look at their schedule, they're not going to make the playoffs. They have a bye week, and then they're at Arrowhead. Then they have to play the Cowboys, who haven't beaten a good team, but look at the Bills' record. They're not really a good team at this point. Then on the road to the Chargers, who knows who their head coach is going to be.
They have to go 4-1, right, to finish?
Yeah, but the
they got
Bills
a
could
game
beat
against the
anyone.
Dolphins.
I mean, if yesterday proved anything, it's the Bills could beat anyone. They went to Philadelphia, and they should have won that game. I mean,
They lost yesterday.
I know, but that's a good loss.
They've lost 6. They can beat anyone except the 6 times that they've lost.
I'm just saying we're doing the schedule thing, and I'm not going to be surprised if the Bills beat Kansas City. Are you guys?
Again, 15% chance to make the playoffs based on what their schedule is and what they've done so far. They have put themselves in an unbelievable hole, Stugotz. That Philadelphia game, you're correct. The Bills outplayed them in almost every discernible way, but the Eagles won the game. Jason Kelce told Peter King after the game, I don't understand how we're the team with only one loss. I've never seen such parity at the top end of the league. None of us would be surprised if Dallas beat Philadelphia.
That one loss is to Zach Wilson.
That's right.
Football.
Jason Kelce skating yesterday.
Oh, my God.
That guy tried to blow the game for them.
You know what? I was going to say, if we're going to cover Jason Kelce and all the good things he does, we should cover the bad things he does. He tried to give that game away, but an interesting point was brought up to me during God Bless Football. He had to poop. And, when you have to poop, you're a bit twitchy, especially when you have to get in that position every, 15 seconds or so.
We sure it wasn't pee?
I don't know.
That has been covered already on God Bless Football. If you want your poop coverage of Jason Kelce, speaking
and pee coverage
of peeing, no, we've got your pee coverage right here.
Okay.
Let's get that tomahawk video for the people, because Andrew Hawkins will tell you that these players go in their pants regularly, and we will get to that sound in a second. But that game, Philadelphia, I want to ask you a couple of things about that game, because them tying the game after Jason Kelce got 2 penalties, Stugotz, to make the field goal in the rain, a 59-yard field goal.
Crazy.
Philadelphia ties the game, but what I wanted to ask you, and I want to talk some broadcasters over the show today, because there was some stuff I wanted to observe with Al Michaels and Jim Nantz that I thought was interesting.
Not their contracts, please.
No, not their contracts. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate you being a governor for the audience on that one.
Covered grand.
You want to explain to me, though, what Tony Romo, who is in a little bit of trouble, at least, according to the reports, because his coverage has been a little lazy, reportedly, that the executives believe at CBS that his golf game is very important to him, and he didn't take last season as seriously as he could. He's
a broadcaster.
It's 4th and 17. Yeah, he's a broadcaster. It's 4th and 17. They're going out there for a 59-yard field goal. And Tony Romo is out here saying to Jim Nantz, how about a fake field goal on 4th and 17? And don't give it to Jalen Hurts in that offense. Let's have the holder roll out and see what we can do 4th and 17.
See if he can get us 18.
See, like, what is he talking about? What is he talking about?
But if it would have happened.
They wouldn't have expected it.
It would have been so amazing. This is what Nance got lucky on Thanksgiving Day on Deron Bland, because he started the call. Here comes history, but then he needed the weaving return because he got his audio levels way up. But he got lucky. Everyone's saluting Jim Nance for getting the call exactly right, but you have to in the event that he doesn't get tackled 30 yards out when he starts weaving through the defense.
The punter's the holder. That's who Romo wanted rolling out there.
A punter.
What is Tony Romo talking about? He went from calling all the plays and being an amazing announcer to just he's your wacky toddler watching the game. He's playing Madden. Why do we fake a field goal here on 4th and 17? Like, what? They're not rushing you. It's in the rain and it's 60 yards. Like, what do you think? They're going to let you go ahead and kick the stupid field goal?
Gladly.
Then go ahead.
How about Jake Elliott, huh?
Oh, man.
In that weather.
Chicken Little.
Amazing. Yeah. What a kick.
That entire game happening in that weather. I mean, all the passing from Allen and Hurts, that was insane. It seemed like it was 70 and sunny out there, the way that game was played.
Let's go to Andrew Hawkins here saying, basically, this is from last week, so he's not saying that Jason Kelce should have pooped himself yesterday, but he's saying a lot of football players are running around with pants filled with feces and pee.
But let me tell you some of the disgusting things that happen in the game that just seem normal to us. Guys just pee on themselves. But in the NFL, guys, when you have to pee, it's not like, hey, coach, I'd like to take a potty break. No, guys literally just pee on themselves during the course of a game and continue to play.
How often does that really happen?
Every game, probably of the, we'll call it, 70 players that play in that game, at least 25 pee on themselves during the course of that game.
There's no way.
Facts. Joe.
It's got to be the same 25 then, Hawk. Because I feel like you're either a pee on yourself guy or you're not.
I am not a pee on myself guy. I am a get me a bottle, put the towels up around me so the fans can't see my junk. Let me do my business on the sideline. I'm not going to pee on myself. I'm too disgusted.
Hawk is taking Juju's advice right now, and he's not outing himself when really what he's trying to say is, I was the guy that peed on myself in every game.
That seems high. 25 of 70 guys? Come on.
The time to do it is like during a fumble on the ground. You jump on the fumble and be like, I'm peeing! And who's going to jump on you?
That's tough, though. That's hard to pee in the middle of like an action like that where you're like, trying to fight for the ball.
You just say you're peeing. So
right.
no way.
Need to focus. I mean,
Billy, what are you making faces about?
I just weird expertise.
Is it not true? Like when you're active and you're doing stuff, it's hard to pee. You have to like sit down, not sit down, but you have to focus on what it is that you're doing. Yeah.
Find your zen.
It's tough.
Can't just say the alphabet
walking
backwards.
out, just peeing all the place. I can't do it.
I'm just laughing at your sitting
Pee on
down
command,
correction.
I mean.
You just heard the internet crawling up to you right there saying, oh, you pee sitting down, do you, Tony?
In a piece of vulnerability, sometimes I pee sitting down.
Yeah. At night, every time. Get out of here. You think I'm going to risk it and pee all over the floor and I have to clean it up?
It is a fun game to play. Listen for the sound of the water.
That's not a fun game to play.
My wife hates that game.
I lost.
Yeah, but I also feel like you're not I got to clean this up now. You're just like,
The worst is the panic of you don't hear water and it's like, which direction do I need to turn? Are we right or left here?
I'm enjoying that your eyes are still closed as you deliver this
Just
information.
trying to show Max what I mean.
You're getting deep into character of how you do it in the dark. You don't want to open your eyes. You don't want to wake up too much.
I tend to aim right, so if I don't hear water, I go a little left. That's usually
wait,
where
hold on a second.
But how many seconds have to go by before you get nervous? No water.
Second? What do you mean? Wait, multiple
I usually
seconds?
pretty
What are you
quickly
talking
hear whether
about?
it's
Fractions of a second.
Doze off a bit.
Sometimes pee's quiet too, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you hit that perfect space, you don't want to hit the side of the toilet. Like the side wall is the money spot.
I'm so confused. So you're peeing in the dark, but you're also closing your eyes to add to the difficulty.
Well, no,
of
I'm
it?
closing my eyes here because it's light in here. Like in my bathroom
To get
it's
into
dark.
character.
Oh, you're recreating. He's a method actor. You're recreating it in your head what it looks like.
Maybe my eyes are closed. Do we know if our eyes are open in a dark room?
Huh.
What?
Put it on the poll, please,
I think it's
Juju.
up to you. I mean.
Do you know if your eyes are open in a dark room? At Levitard Show. I thought you were keeping your eyes closed because you simply didn't want to wake up too much. They say stay out of blue screens, don't get too many lights on your face so that you can go back to sleep. I thought that was a strategy of yours. You kept your eyes closed.
I'm still sleeping. Like
That's right.
Walk with your eyes closed.
Or keep them. That's what
Hit the corner of your bed. Shit.
You didn't want to wake up too much is what I thought. Stugotz, I've got a lot on broadcasters, but I have now sided with Tony. Tony is calling Jason Garrett the most electric man on television.
Really?
And I am with him based on this is an old video, but we've seen he is great at only one thing. And on television, he's a mannequin. He's a cardboard cutout. He is plastic. He is all teeth and suit. And then this. He finds the camera wherever it is, whenever the camera's on him. And he knows.
Not just his head turns, his whole
it's
body.
the whole thing. It's he has got this down. It's hands in pockets. It is great to be a former Dallas coach. I can get any job I want. They'd have given this to Dave Campo if I didn't smile quite like this.
In this thing we're showing, someone had to say to him, hey, be creepy and look at the camera
It's not creepy. It's great television.
It's awesome.
It is
great.
It is
scared my 5-year-old.
He's a pro. I mean.
No, it's making love to the camera. It is the look of a man who doesn't know he doesn't ever say anything interesting. He doesn't know it.
I think he does know it. He makes up for it with that smile.
No, he does not know it. That smile is too authentic. It is not plastic. It is pleased with yourself.
He thinks he's Brad Pitt.
He doesn't think he's a 500 career record. He doesn't think that he's bad at this. He thinks I look good. And America wants to watch me say nothing interesting.
And we do. Collinsworth had to be enjoying that. Like seeing the reaction to him, like, you miss me, huh?
After getting ripped off at the fish market?
Oh, I mean, that's a whole nother thing.
Let me see Jason Garrett again. Show it to me again just so people can see.
Oh, my God.
It's amazing.
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holiday season can stir a wide range of emotions, and the specific emotions experienced can vary from person to person. While many people associate the holidays with feelings of joy, warmth, and togetherness, it's essential to recognize that the holiday season can also evoke various other emotions, both positive and negative. Adding something new and positive to your life can counteract some of those feelings. Therapy can be a bright spot amid all the stress and change. Having something to look forward to make you feel grounded and to give you the tools to manage everything going on. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Remember that it's okay to take care of yourself during the holiday season. Prioritizing self-care and managing stress is essential for enjoying the holidays and maintaining your well-being. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/DLB today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DLB.
Peloton is your stage to work out like nobody's watching. A Peloton in your house means you make the rules. You exercise when you want, how you want, sing as loud as you want, wear what you want, or nothing at all. When you spend your hard-earned money, you don't just buy a Peloton, you open the door for you to do you. And nothing beats the feeling of exercising on your own terms, with or without clothes on. With up to $700 off your Peloton Bike Plus purchase, there's no better time to bring one home for the holidays and work out like nobody's watching. Peloton is your stage to unleash the real you, the clothing optional you. You want to try a climb or a low-impact ride class? You can. Or hop off bike and pivot the screen to do a bar, strength, or yoga class? You can. Make yourself uncomfortable in the comfort of your own space and your own skin, free of judgment, free of inhibitions. It's a fitness entertainment mashup that'll have you singing at the top of your lungs, sweating, and moving like you'd never do with others around you. Peloton's best offer of the season. Head to onepeloton.com/deals. All access membership separate. Terms apply.
Dan Le Batard.
Teammates can't shoot from three. Now they're gonna see a different Jimmy. Now he's just playing Nickelback in the locker room, and
Stugotz.
they'll play D and shoot threes as they chase the Nets for the 6th seed. These 5 words in his head scream, "Are we winning games yet?"
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Because we're debuting today on Max, we are now debuting a new segment where newsmen gather and talk about their football teams. Wolf Blitzer will join us tomorrow to talk about his beloved Wolverines. But Jake Tapper is here, unbiased Jake Tapper, allegedly. Objective journalist Jake Tapper, allegedly. Like I said, first day streaming on Max. You can catch an hour of this show weekdays on the sports tier. It's free to Max subscribers through February. We'll be alongside the NBA, NHL, March Madness, HBO, and CNN. And Jake Tapper is the chief Washington correspondent for CNN. We will talk to him about newsy things, but we'll let him have his joy here. Look at him. Look how effervescent he is.
Yep, he should be.
Nothing makes him happier. They had no business winning that football game. None. Should have lost that football game.
That's what they do. I mean, they trail by double digits. They come back every single time.
Yeah, that's what they do. They kick 59-yard field goals that are bullshit in the rain. Jake Tapper with us. Thank you for being with us. Take us next to you when you're watching that game. How mad are you at Jason Kelce? Are you yelling at him about his podcast as he keeps making the field goal later and longer in regulation?
Okay, first of all, that second call was bullshit. He did not flinch. The second call, if you want to give, first of all, I think the whole flinch call is bullshit to begin with.
Right.
Because if you can't deal with a flinch, I mean, whatever. But that's
because they called it on you.
What do you mean?
They called it on your team.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You can't make what's bullshit is that they didn't call a horse collar when it was an obvious horse collar. That's what's bullshit.
Those are the rules. I get it. I understand. Those are the rules. But I mean, the first one was, but the second one was not a flinch. The second one was not a flinch.
It was Tapper. It was a flinch. What are you talking about?
It was not a flinch.
Spin.
The second one was not a flinch.
News.
But whatever. You got the call. You got the call anyway.
Right.
And Jake Elliott still, in the pouring rain, delivered a 59-yard field goal. Unbelievable. To tie the game. It goes to overtime. I mean, these boys, they are the real deal. You can say whatever you want. Who should have won the game? Should have won the game.
Yep.
Every time they win the game.
Except for when they're playing.
I'm sorry about the angelic lights that are filling my study because the gods are with me and the Eagles.
Pro's pro. I mean, this guy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Every time you win, except that one time against Zach Wilson that you lost.
Or to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I believe you.
It keeps us humble. It's fine. It keeps us humble. I don't mind a loss to the Jets. It keeps us humble.
When you were on with us last time, did you say that Jalen Hurts was now the most popular athlete in the history of Philadelphia? What did your top 5 have Jalen Hurts at the top?
It had him in the 5. It had him in the 5. It did. Yes.
Well, I thought that there was was a current Eagle not at number 1. Do I have this wrong? Because
I don't think I listed them in any numeric order. I just included Jalen Hurts in my 5. I mean, he may have been the last one I listed because I love him so much.
Is there anyone?
This is, by the way, the Jalen Hurts hoodie that I thought I lost, and I found it this morning just so I could wear it with you beautiful people.
That's a little bit better. Thank you for eliminating some of that angelic light. How unreasonable are you when they're losing? How bad are you when you're watching yesterday and they're getting trampled a little bit early?
I'm not bad. I'm sitting there with my son, who is even more of an Eagle fan than I, and we're sitting there, and he's great. He's learned, even though he lives in Washington, D.C., he has the exact Eagle spirit. He's yelling at the refs for their bullshit calls, like that second flinch call. He is agreeing when they, when they make the right call. I mean, he is trying to figure out who Zacchaeus is, as is the entire rest of Philadelphia.
That was unbelievable, that catch. How is that possible? They've got so many guys to throw to, and that's the guy on 3rd and 15. They're hitting in the back of the end zone.
The touchdown that sent 7 million Philadelphians to Google. Unbelievable. Who is this man? Beautiful. And it turns out he went to high school with Swift. Beautiful. I mean, unbelievable.
I didn't realize you were learning who he was at the same time
I was. Everyone was.
He was on the Falcons until April. I mean, I'd never even heard of him, but wow, amazing. So good.
I was surprised that the ball didn't get jostled at all as he fell out of bounds, that the ball
all of us were like, please let that be a touchdown. Please, let's have the replay. Yes, it was a touchdown. Yes, it was.
Now, Wolf Blitzer is also a Bills fan, I'm told, so I'm wondering, any back and forth yesterday?
Do you talk shit? Not yesterday, today.
Normally, I would be a huge smack talker but I have reverence and respect for Wolf. So I do not.
Okay.
Like, for example, my daughter is a jock. So my daughter she committed early to Michigan for rowing. She's a junior in high school. She committed early to Michigan for rowing. So all of a sudden, our family just 2 weeks ago became Michigan fans. It just like happened like that. We are now Michigan fans because of her. And so Phil Mattingly, who's a morning anchor, the CNN This Morning anchor, he's an Ohio State guy. So Saturday, I was just texting him the meanest, most horrible texts in the world because he was on vacation, so I couldn't do it on Twitter or X because he wasn't responding. And then Phil showed up on Sunday saying that his happiness about my daughter's accomplishment has now been tempered by the realization that I have now become a Michigan super fan, which is going to ruin his life for the future, which is the correct response because I will now be awful to him as an Ohio State fan. But I can't do that to Wolf because he's an icon. I can't.
Well, where's your line on this, though, for respect? John Berman is a Patriots fan. Will you light him up?
I'm mean. I'm hard. When we beat the Patriots in 2018, I called into the morning show and berated him when he was the morning show anchor at that time. Yeah, no, I'm horrible. I'm a Philadelphia fan. I'm horrible. But I won't do it to Wolf because I have reverence and respect.
You mentioned that.
That's the only guy, though.
You mentioned are there others though who rise to that level of respect? Is he the only one in this tier?
He is the only one.
Wow.
I mean, he's a god tier newsman. He's somehow made us all accustomed to how ridiculous his name is, and we just don't think twice. Wolf Blitzer.
That's not his real name.
No, he was born in
Anderson
Germany.
doesn't like sports at all, so like that's a whole. He just does he doesn't care. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. There's no team that he roots for, so it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to think. I mean, I really like Aaron. I really like all of them. I mean, but Aaron Burnett went to Williams. I don't even know if they have any teams for anything.
Right.
So I mean, whatever. And I don't even know. But no, I'm relentless. And by the way, they give it back to me. I mean, Berman is really mean about it when the Eagles lose anything, or Philadelphia loses anything, which we do quite often. Maybe you remember last season for every sport there was. But yeah, no, I'm not going to give it to Wolf. One of my close friends is from Buffalo, from Lockport, and I was sending him some very mean messages and images. AI is great for this sort of thing, like the images you can create with what an eagle can do to a buffalo.
That's what you were doing.
I need not go into it. But
better left unstated. We will get to some of the news items, but yesterday during the Red Zone broadcast, a fire alarm went off on Scott Hansen, and he was supposed to leave the studio. Have you ever had that happen to you during a broadcast? Have you ever had something happen during a broadcast where you thought you were going to have to leave air?
No, but I have seen it happen on CNN in New York one time. Jim Sciutto and I forget exactly what it was, but there was some sort of thing that happened. I think it was, but I don't exactly remember what it was. But there was some time that they had to evacuate the building. That has never happened. That has never happened to me. Thankfully, I'm sure. I mean, it does happen, though. But no, it has not.
I should tell the people that he anchors The Lead with Jake Tapper and State of the Union. He's the chief Washington correspondent for CNN, and he's got a new novel out, All the Demons Are Here.
Can I ask you a question? I'm sorry to turn the tables. First of all, congratulations and welcome to Max, by the way. I do want to say that as somebody who's been on Max for a little bit. The Lead is on Max, and it's so exciting to have you on Max. Let me just ask you a question. Why is Jalen Hurts not mentioned more in the top quarterbacks? Because it just does seem to me that he is incredible, and he should be mentioned at least top 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and I don't understand why he's not on these lists.
The same reason Brock Purdy isn't, because the assumption is that he's being aided so much by the people around him that he's not as individually great by himself.
Also the tush push. But listen, Jake is right, Dan, because we have to come to the realization that Jalen Hurts with 29 touchdowns went to the Super Bowl last year. He just might be the best quarterback in the NFL.
That's what I think.
And no one ever discusses him as the best quarterback in the NFL.
Dak Prescott's having a better season.
No, I get that he has wide receivers that are amazing. I get that, and that's totally fair. But he really is one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the league.
But it's the same thing for Tua, right? Like if I ask you, who do you want, Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes? You're saying Patrick Mahomes. Like, are you not? What? What?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I get that you. I mean, look, I understand, and we saw that in the game against the Chiefs, where because our wide receivers are so much better, it looks easier for Hurts than it does for Mahomes. And when Mahomes misses, it looks like it's Mahomes' fault and not the wide receiver's fault. I get it. I don't know. I just think I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to argue with somebody who knows more about football than I do, but I'm just saying I think Hurts belongs in this
that person.
Jalen Hurts was the best player, even though Kansas City won. Jalen Hurts was the best player on the field last year in the Super Bowl. I said this on God Bless Football. You can check it out on Max if you want.
Oh, you can't check it.
Oh, we're not there?
Max.
Oh.
No, God Bless Football's not on Max.
Do you still have a beef with Assad in the Super Bowl, that turf that had you guys slipping all over the place? Is there a CNN investigation on the sod in the Super Bowl?
No, but I was happy to be rid of our defensive coordinator, and I hope the Cardinals are enjoying him.
I never got to any of the serious stuff with him. Thank you for being on with us, Jake. We will check in
anytime
with you on the serious stuff down the road.
Yeah, we have a tough. Our schedule's tough the next 3 games, but
wins losses.
So far, I don't know if you saw. I don't want to jinx it, but at the beginning of the season, I had a very bold prediction about how our record was going to go. I said it was going to be 15-1. I did this with our friend Rich Eisen. So far, we're 10-1. So
but there are 17 games.
Well, then maybe I said 16-1. So I apologize. But in any case,
it's a fine.
I'm not off. So
no, you're trending well.
I'm just saying. As of now, I don't want to jinx anything. Anything could happen. We could end up 10-6, 10-7. But I'm just saying, right now, it doesn't look horrible. That's all I'm saying.
This is why everyone hates the media. You're clearly biased, and I told you so is what it is you're ending
Very
our
biased.
conversation
100%.
All right.
Very biased. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad we all agree.
See you later. Enjoy the AI of Eagles doing bad things to Buffalo.
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holiday season can stir a wide range of emotions, and the specific emotions experienced can vary from person to person. While many people associate the holidays with feelings of joy, warmth, and togetherness, it's essential to recognize that the holiday season can also evoke various other emotions, both positive and negative. Adding something new and positive to your life can counteract some of those feelings. Therapy can be a bright spot amid all the stress and change. Having something to look forward to make you feel grounded and to give you the tools to manage everything going on. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Remember that it's okay to take care of yourself during the holiday season. Prioritizing self-care and managing stress is essential for enjoying the holidays and maintaining your well-being. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/DLB today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DLB.